Hello everyone, it's Katya Paprika again, and today I came to you with such a large selection of cutlets, but who said that cutlets necessarily have to be made either from meat or from fish? And today we will have several options of such vegetarian fasting cutlets with you at once. They will be prepared from the most different ingredients, and this means that you will definitely find something be your own, your ideal option, which you will like the most. Well, before we move on to the video, I want to remind you that in the pinned comment and also in the description of the video, you will find links to my other social networks. Subscribe to my channel to keep track of me. Everything, including the Telegram channel and VK group, is in the video description. Well, now let's move on to the video. Let's begin today with marine cutlets, sans monkey and fly. First, clean the raw carrot. I took 2 pieces, that's 250 grams. The patties will be with Greek nuts, 40 grams. You need to grate the carrots, and I will use a grinder. And we will immediately add Greek nuts, as well as a clove of garlic. You need to achieve a fairly soft state of the carrots, and the mass should also be juicy. In the mixer, we combine our mass with salt, and definitely add hops sunali. With honey and walnuts, it's always a fabulous combination. Look at the consistency of the resulting mass. The dough is juicy, and you should be able to gather the mass into a lump. And to bind it together, we'll add cornstarch. I have 2 tablespoons, maybe more will be needed. In the end, after mixing well, we get a sticky mass from which we can shape patties. I will roll it in breadcrumbs. You can take crackers if you want a crunch, or flour. Shape small patties so they don't fall apart when frying. Because they are soft, it will not be easy to flip them. We will fry them in oil for 4 to 5 minutes on each side over medium heat, and it's better to cover with a lid. While the patties are hot, they are very crispy. Give them a little rest after frying and they will hold their shape beautifully. It's very tasty, especially with Greek nuts. You will be delighted. Next, let's prepare cabbage patties. For this, we gently shred the white cabbage and also chop the green onion. You can cut it into cubes or half rings, it doesn't matter. We send the cabbage to the pot and add water so that it almost completely covers the cabbage. We need to soften it in water, add salt right away, and the cabbage will become softer faster. Keep it on the fire for 10 minutes, and the onion needs to be fried in oil until it is soft and slightly golden. This is how the cabbage should look, ready for further use, very soft. Drain the excess water using a colander and let the water fully drain, leaving the cabbage slightly damp. After that, we add our sautéed onion to the cabbage and gradually add the flour. If desired, add greens or dried herbs. The mass will be homogeneous, slightly sticky from the flour, and it's convenient to shape this mass into patties with wet hands. Scrape the mass into a bowl well to remove excess air and form a dense patty. Fry on both sides in oil for 3 minutes each. I eat these patties with sriracha, but you can make a sauce with vegan mayonnaise and garlic. I eat this as a standalone dish, but you can also use it as patties with a side of rice, for example. And the next recipe in line is with chickpeas and broccoli. For this, we will need to soak the red lentils for 1 hour. Soak, don't boil. It will double in volume. Broccoli is the second ingredient. I defrosted it using boiling water. We need to combine the soaked chickpeas with the broccoli in the blender cup. Take the volume 1 to 1. I have 30 grams of dry chickpeas and 30 grams of broccoli. We're getting a homogeneous paste. Because of the broccoli, this paste should not be dry. In fact, you might want to add a bit of flour, but we will only add salt, dry garlic, and caraway seeds, and nothing more. With wet hands, we form the patties, rolling them in flour. The dough is very soft, so just make small-sized patties. Therefore, there is no need to add flour and overcook the juicy patties. We will fry on a small amount of oil over medium heat. Fry for 4 to 5 minutes on each side, and when you fry on the second side, you can cover with a lid to make sure the patties are cooked inside. This is very tasty and juicy. I like this version much more than falafel. And definitely a recipe in my favorites. I highly recommend trying to cook it. It's very tasty to eat such cutlets with vegetables. Now let's prepare some nut cutlets. You can soak the nuts in advance, this will save boiling time, or boil them until soft right away, or use canned ones. Slightly shell the cooked nuts. It's better to remove these clear husks right away. We will definitely add carrots and onions to the nuts for both juiciness and flavor. We add crushed cumin, coriander, chili, salt, and grind everything in a grinder to a fine crumb. It will blend well. I have a combo nut grinder, but any will do. The flour here acts as a binder, and to remove excess moisture if there is any, we add flour and knead the dough, which is good. It forms into a ball. If it's too dry, it's better to add a little water. We send the mass to the refrigerator for half an hour so that the mass holds the shape better. On a floured surface, we send one portioned ball and give it shape. It's more convenient to use a knife and like this, give it shape from the top and the sides so that the shape is perfectly even. This is how they make perfect cheese balls, and this method will come in handy for us. I ended up with 7.5 patties. We send the patties to roast on a heated skillet. You can also stew it in sauce. It will be even juicier but without the crust. We roast for 4 minutes on each side. It's best to serve vegetables with such a main dish. As an option, I have a quick salad of tomatoes, zucchini, which I always eat raw by the way, and arugula. I have a mill salt with garlic. We add it to the salad. The vegetables will give juice, they will marinate a bit, and you can even not dress it with oil. I actually did it this way. We get a very tasty potato dinner or lunch. If the patties turn out to be dry, you can make a gravy for them. The next recipe is oatmeal patties, in which spices are very important. The base is made up of oatmeal flakes, either small or medium. If you have large ones, it's better to blend them a bit. We'll add 1 medium potato and an onion. You can also add a carrot. We'll blend the vegetables in a grinder and get such a mash. You can simply grate the potato on a grater and chop the onion very finely. We send our vegetables to the pan and add tomato paste or tomatoes in juice and now the spices. This is crushed cumin, salt, and roasted paprika. Just a little more of it. Let's not skimp on the seasonings. And we thoroughly mix everything until we get a plastic dough. All that's left is to form the patties. It's tastiest to fry these patties in oil and then simmer them with gravy. I'll demonstrate a steamer version sans oil. Meanwhile, we prepare a sauce from tomato paste or tomatoes in juice. Add salt, chili pepper or cayenne pepper and dry garlic. Stir it with a whisk and get a spicy and aromatic sauce. Pour it over our patties. After 15 minutes in the oven, they have already formed a small crust, and now we cook them in the oven for another 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the size of the patties. In the end, we get very aromatic oat patties. And finally, we will prepare rice grains with mushrooms. We do not rinse the rice before boiling. We need a sticky, viscous rice porridge. We add cornstarch for binding and mix well. For the filling, we will chop the champignons and green onions. We sauté the filling with a small amount of oil, add any spices, and cook until done. To shape the dumplings, you need to wet your hands with water. And then we easily shape a thick pancake from the rice. Put the filling inside and fold it into a ball, sealing all the edges. We give it a flatter shape of a cutlet and roll it in breadcrumbs or cornmeal. I ended up with 6 cutlets. Fry the cutlets in vegetable oil. You can try cooking it in a steamer, but on a skillet you get a tasty crispy crust. You must try cooking them. We were delighted with this dish. Well, that's all from me. I hope you liked this video. Be sure to give it a like, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I would be very grateful if you share this video on your social networks. This really helps the channel to grow. You've been with Katya Paprika. Listen to your body and eat tasty, healthy food. Subtitles were created by Dima Torzok.